on. This is the Dirty Snow Podcast, Season 5, Episode 4, post CPTC. Nora, what a weekend.
Yeah, it was great to see some sleds back on the track. First time this year for the Ice Oval group. Yeah, it was pretty exciting racing. Entries looked pretty healthy. Champ, I believe, had 22 or 23 total entries. F3, I believe, 12. Few mechanical issues. I think only 9 or 10 made the final on a couple of them. But yeah, it was great to see the sleds back on the track. Lots of racing action. The track looked pretty well prepped up in Bowtown. So yeah, what were your thoughts on the weekend?
You know, it was a good weekend, I think. The track showed some wear by Sunday. It looks like I think the tracks could have moved it out. Kind of eliminated that dip that they were kind of fighting. We've seen a lot of guys getting in on that inner bank. Once you get that reverse camber in there, kind of tends to shoot the sleds inside. I think you could have eliminated that. You got a lot of surface up there. Like just open it up a little. I hate to say it. Sundays, make it easier on the guys. The race is, just safer. We had a lot of incidents, a lot of spills on Sunday.
Yeah, and that might be, knocking the rust off after a little bit. Everyone's been cooped up for 8 months or so. But yeah, I did notice that the dip kind of in both corners, a lot of guys hitting the inside snowbank. It looked like you're doing the head bob coming off the corner, but you'll have that. They got another 3 months before they have another event up there. So a lot of time to make ice, which is good for those guys.
Well, let's go to the Dirty Snow Northern Light race weekend results.
Yeah. Get them up there for me.
All right. There you go, bud.
All right. So Saturday at Beausejour, this was the Pro Star Cup day. Blaine Stevenson picked up the win over Gunnar Stern and Calvin Peterson. It was a pretty good race. Blaine and Gunnar did not have a good hole shot. Gavin Peterson was the early leader, and those guys had to come from about 4th, 5th. I think Gunnar was even 6th or 7th at one point.
Yeah, Gunnar had a really rough first lap, but he had a good battle back, and then he ran out of time to chase the Blaine down, but at the end he closed that gap a little.
Yeah, if it would have been a 20, 25 lapper, it would have been really interesting to see. So pretty racy for those guys. Big story out of the Pro Star Cup, which I thought was kind of interesting. No Travis McDonald, no Matt Gady in the final.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen McDonald not, but it was an illness that took him out on that one. So I'm not going to count him out. He had a strong showing, but the illness got the best of him. And Gady had some issues, mechanical issues. And
yeah, that's crazy. I mean, those two are very competitive, very fast, and usually a force to compete in the points. So interesting to see if they can recover from that, and hopefully they didn't set themselves too far back to start the season off. But moving on over to Junior 1 Sprint, you had Derek and Ben Meyer.
The Meyer missiles are back. They haven't changed.
The Michigan Meyer missiles picked up 1st and 2nd over Brandon Christensen. F3, Tom Olson got a narrow victory over Joey Birch and Dustin Schwant. That was pretty good. There's
Yeah,
I believe 10
Justin
sleds in that final. So
Justin Birch has been showing some heat this whole weekend as we watched. He may be the hot F3 guy that's kind of wasn't on our radar going into this, and he's really putting some good times in.
yeah, Joey's pretty good. He's he's from Michigan. I believe he's a mirror rider, enduro rider. Spent a little bit of time on these F3 sleds over the last couple of years. So
Yeah, running for Team DL.
yeah, Team DL on the 29 sled. So it was fast. It was close. I think another couple laps, it would have been some side by side at the checkered flag. So moving over to F500, Dane Klinger picked up the win over Brad Harrison and Colton Abraham. F500 had some good racing this weekend, few spills here and there, but pretty competitive.
You got more for us?
I got more.
Right into Sunday.
And then Sunday, F3, Joey Birch picked up the win over Gunnar Stern and Tom Olson.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. Tommy, I thought had her locked up the first half of that race, and it kind of fell apart, and those two got him, and that's the way the story wrote.
Yeah, it was good stuff. And then F500, Colton Abraham picked up his first pro win over Dane Klinger and Nick Kurth. Connor Ballman and Zach Rogers rounded up the top 5, which I thought that was pretty cool. That is an all Marathon County.
Central
guys.
Wisconsin group of guys, they're really strong in the F500. And it's been, Marathon County's put a lot of great racers out there and the Isola community, and those are your future champ guys or whatever comes to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was good to see. It was pretty good race. Dane and Colton were nose to tail for quite a bit of it, and then 3rd, 4th, and 5th they were on top of each other for 3-4 laps of it as well.
Yeah, it was good battle, and when that track got rough, the F5s really show, and you really got to drive them hard.
Yeah, Colton sent me a picture of his steering post from he got taken into the bales during one of the heat races.
Yeah,
so yeah, it was
they stick tweaked out a little on them, so they take the brunt. That's normal.
Tweaked, so, but he said it made it faster, so I told him don't change it.
Yeah, bend equipment sometimes is faster.
Yeah, Supermod 440, no surprise there. Sabrina Blanchette was top of the boards there, and then I'm going to butcher this name here, Luke Lacasse Hamner over Norm Chura.
Yeah, and both the 1-2 sleds came out of the same camp, I believe. So
yeah, they were both
very fast
drivers.
Out of the East Coast.
And then champ Gunnar Stern back on top of the podium over Justin Peterson and Gavin Peterson.
It was a clean sweep for the Skidoo and the Wheel sleds. It was a knockout. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, on Sunday that was Gunnar. I believe jumped out to a pretty sizable lead early and never looked back.
These Petersons just taking up the podium. Yesterday we had Calvin up there. Today we have the Justin and Gavin. They're really showing their colors.
Yeah, and they're all different Petersons. I think that 2 are cousins.
2 are cousins, and the others from Minnesota. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Quite the confusing name out there, though.
I know a lot of Petersons, and their sleds. I think they're all Skidoo sleds too.
They're all Skidoos. 2 Hool, one Walls. Yeah.
Yeah. Hard to tell them apart. Hoods, color scheme.
Little different sponsorship programs.
Yeah.
Though one's wearing Climb, one's wearing FXR, and I don't know what Kelvin is on, but probably Climb as well.
Yeah. So. Good day to be the Petersons. CPT's next event is March 1st and 2nd. That'll be the second Beaujeu date.
Yeah, March 1st and 2nd. And
then for the December schedule, as you can see, the Beaujeu date is done and over. After the Christmas holiday is PBR's race up at Ironwood, and that is also the first race of the Decker Triple Crown for the F500 series that's going on.
That'll be a fun one to see those F500 guys. We said Marathon County strong so far. Let's see what everybody else got for them when we come to Ironwood, the super fast half mile.
That's another big half mile. So
with the track change, I think it's going to be very friendly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a little less banking at Ironwood, wider corners now. Probably going to be very similar to Beaujeu.
Yeah, I'd say so. A little shorter on the straights. Beaujeu is really just it's a long track.
Yeah.
I'd call it a super half mile. I don't really know if they say it's a half mile, but I feel like when you're there, it's massive.
You got time to eat a hot dog going down the backstretch.
Sometimes you do. Yeah, I got to say.
But, yeah, so that should be interesting. Greg Basom and his crew up at Ironwood, they got ice laid down right now. I don't know how much, but the video that USSA put up with Bob going around the track looked pretty racy, looked clean, quality ice, no snow in it. So I know they got a little bit of snow coming this week, but I think the temps up there are definitely going to be cold enough to have some quality ice for 2 weekends.
Yeah, I think they did a great job. It kind of showed the bleachers in that video as well, and kind of how that front wall developed. It's starting to look like a nice little facility again. When we lost the grandstands, but it's looking really good, and I think we're going to be pushing past that.
Absolutely. And then another race that was announced last week after the show is a Triple Crown VWR,
which represents Valcour, Woodstock, and Roperville. It's a 1-3 class series between the Pro Champ, the Formula 500, Supermod 440. It's an interesting deal, a $9K in total Canadian payout, which means $2K in payouts for each class based off of the points of all 3 race weekends.
Yeah. So there is some more details on Valcour's Facebook page had that posted. There is an English version too. The first one that I read was written in French. So there's an English version posted. There is contact information and rules and details will be shared in the next couple weeks. I believe registration is first come, first serve. That will also be announced in the next couple weeks based on what I'm reading here.
Yeah, so, it's a Triple Crown of the 3 tracks point series. It's not like the Decker Triple Crown. This one is you show up at all 3 and it's a point series, and the winner takes $1,000 home, and then it breaks down from that. Yes, the cumulative points from each weekend.
Yep. So
that'll be big. I think the Supermod and the F500 will be good. The Champ's going to be tough. Roperville's a long haul. I don't know how many Champ guys out there on the East Coast will make that, but I believe you'll get a few in each class, and it'll be strong.
And the other question is for their Pro Champ class. I mean, Valcour's, those are stock motors. What does Woodstock and Roperville run?
They run the same stock motors. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so I know they had a mod Champ class. So I wasn't sure if that was.
Nope. I think they're going to go with the Premier class. That's going to run following standard rules. I don't believe they'll have a difference for that because Valcour is only going to run the 1 Champ class, and that's kind of the leader of the group there. And then you'd go Woodstock, and then Roperville. This is a big growth thing for them. It's pretty far north, but it's a beautiful little facility, and they love the racing. They support it, and I've heard crazy stories of it from back in the day. So it's a pretty neat facility, and Schultz always talked really, really highly of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So good for the East Coast Canadian riders over in Quebec that they got something to set their eyes on.
Yeah, I think the F500 will be really fun, and the Supermod guys are going to eat that up for sure.
Yeah, you'll be at 2 of the events.
Yeah, hopefully.
Maybe 3. I don't know.
Roperville is a tough one for me.
Yeah.
That's kind of when I want to be out west riding snowmobiles.
Yeah,
I haven't talked to the team on it, but that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay. And then we would like to take some time to thank our friends over at Woody's Traction Products. Rick over at Papa Seasonings used some of his stuff the other day on some venison. It was pretty tasty.
I'm out at the house. We've been eating good, and the high protein diet really likes the seasoning.
Yeah, absolutely. Our friends at Emperor One CBD Products giving us the Emperor One Studio. And then PJR Home Services.
Serving your Weston and Wausau area.
Yeah. I think that's all we got. So, yeah, that was Canada's recap.
Let's dive into today. We don't have a note plan really laid out for the show today. We're going to kind of wing it. Let's run down it. Let's talk about positives. What did you see at CPTC C. Oh my God.
CPTC. Come on, bud.
It's just a stumble for me today.
Yeah.
What do you see? Positives. Let's hit it.
Great pre-recorded content by Brett and his guys. It was something to tune into during the plow break. I mean, I watched here and there, Saturday and Sunday when I could. And then plow break would come on. I'd go scroll on my phone. Well, then an interview would come up, 30 seconds in or after a commercial or something like that. Then I'd tune back in. So the content was good. Did exactly what I was supposed to do, fill the gaps for the plow breaks. A lot of variety. Enjoyed that.
I have to say my favorite interview is Mr. Kenny Day.
I did not get to watch Kenny's. I gotta go back.
You can go back on YouTube and watch it. He is the best. I wish Brett would have dove in with him and got some of the goofy stories out of him. His time slot was kind of short, but that is one character at the racetrack. You could, in Alexandria, he always had a funny line closing the drivers' meeting. Do you remember any of them, Norm?
It was something with this orange tape. He always held up a roll of orange duct tape.
And he put it on the back of your helmets. And then I liked when he would tell the little kids, I don't know where your dad got the feel, but there's something funny in it.
My favorite was Jerry was running Pro Light, and Kenny happened to be, I think, standing next to me and Alex at the fence or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And
wow.
Wow,
you guys are fast.
It was like, what's going on? And we're like, what? He's like, holy shit, you see how fast you guys are going? And we're like, what? And we're like, yeah, that's the plan. So yeah, don't touch his cones.
Yeah. Don't move my cones. Yeah.
That's a big one too. So that was, I like the content. They came with multiple camera angles. It was good.
They had a little battle with the camera angles with the moisture and stuff. The lenses got the best of it. But yeah, we were just watching a few shots on the computer as well, and the computer is the way to go over my cell phone for sure. It gives you a little more broader image and a brighter image. So
yeah, it was good. Well done. There was some great bonus content for the interviews.
Oh, Danik Lambert was always he's a good character. You really. Some of these drivers got to lighten up a little. We gotta humanize.
They gotta relax.
I'm gonna call it humanize them. Let's make them people that fans could fall for, not fall in love with or anything goofy, but understand that they're still a person and they have their own characteristics. And Danik's one of those good characters. That could write. He's like the Daniel Ricciardo of F1 at one time. Daniel's no longer there, but yeah, that's the vibe I get from Danik. Yeah,
Danik's a character. He's one of great personality. And I don't know, I had a lot of fun talking with him at Eagle River.
Yeah, he's always entertaining.
He's always entertaining and fun to talk to.
The family's backs him 100%. He's got awesome. He shouts out his sponsors a lot, and he's a good little driver for Weatherall.
But I don't know. I enjoyed the live reporting that Brett did. They could improve on the mic quality a little bit, but that could just be this was a first time deal.
I'm gonna give him he stuck it out. And I think we need a little more in the pits of like when drivers are missing. I guess when roll call's not made. I've seen a lot of YouTube comments.
If there's a scratch or something.
A lot of stuff in the YouTube comments where you seen like, hey, where's this person? Where's this person? Some reporting or response on those would be really nice. I don't know, announcers usually don't have the screen in front of them because they're watching the race, and sometimes the conflict there is they're watching the race, the camera showing one thing. You kind of really don't know what's going on sometimes between the two.
Sequencing, you're saying?
Yeah, the sequencing. You could be on the leaders, but he's talking about fourth and fifth, so you're kind of like, what's he talking about? Just stuff like that.
And
that's got to kind of keep an eye, maybe give him a monitor or something. And
we talked about this too a while back. If you're going to live stream, have not have the announcer, I guess, watch the track, have him watch the live stream and comment on that.
Yeah, you almost need
two
broadcasters. Yeah,
in a way like that. But it was very well. It was entertained. There was entertaining. There was, I don't know, 1,700, 1,600 people watching when I tuned in. Both times. So did its job. Hats off to their team at Cool Down TV.
Yeah, I think we checked in just now. It's like 27,000 views on Saturday and a little less on Sunday. It hasn't been out there as long, so they got good numbers, for what it is, and it's on YouTube, and everybody can go watch it. I did struggle though tracking it down on a daily basis because I kept forgetting the YouTube page, so I really kicked myself in the ass. So I had to like scroll through the posts, and when you went to their page, they had all the posts, and I'm like,
Mhm.
oh man, I get all the results, but where's the YouTube link? Where's the YouTube link? So I struggled a little. If we
Yeah.
could pin that on the top, that'd be nice, guys.
Yeah, just make it accessible. And I think it's free. That's
It's very accessible
very
and
accessible.
just tracking it down. We got to make it very easy and maybe even run some small ads in hot areas like the Wausau or different race areas or target race pages and kind of see if we can get the viewership up a little more yet.
Yeah, but they did a great job. It was different content every time. What are your thoughts, on what happened with some of the mechanical issues?
Mechanical issues. Yeah, you've seen some guys. We didn't get much testing out of the new track stuff. I wish we would have had more guys opportunities to run those. As we've seen, like the Sabrina sled, when we seen the picture of the post accident, that was an original track. Really curious about the testing data that the guys did collect on this new track, this new 106. If it's the future or if there's some flaws or not.
Because
That's got me intrigued. I know 2 guys ran it, and I know they took them off. So, yeah, I'm curious to see where we're at.
Yeah, I am too. I know from few people I talked to, I think only 2 drivers are running the new 106. Matt Gady and then Travis McDonald.
Yeah,
and then
I believe it was down on time a little.
yeah,
in the
I know
first
it's 2 pounds
practices.
heavier.
Yeah, but I maybe it's not free rolling yet.
Yeah,
those other
stiff.
tracks are working. It's since the field's not all on them, it's gonna be tough when to make that decision to make everybody force to them.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can. If the rule states a 106 track.
Well, it doesn't state a 106 track. It just states a height. You have the Walt brothers running the 116s,
That's
I
true.
believe,
And
on the sleds.
Blaine and Tom were fast on the 116s.
Yeah.
So was Kelvin and Hunter. Hunter
So,
won a heat and finished, I think, 10th in the final.
yeah, so you're still having guys run those. So, when is this new 106 track really going to get the R&D time? We really need to see how it performs. And if anybody has any answers or done testing on the lake or any other forms, for sure throw it in the comments. We'd like to know where it stands. And
yeah, if we know how many were made, I guess, and like Brandon said, the R&D or the test time behind it, because I think what happened to Matt was the track had issues. Travis, I think, switched out a track.
Well, they just were down on time.
They were down on time.
At the end of the day, they were down on time, and we couldn't. You can't compete. You're out there to win races. If it's slower, you're not going to put it on. That's why it's got to be a hard switch if everybody's on them or not.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Something coming about.
Interesting.
Comment. Yeah.
We'll see what happens with them. Weeks to tell, and we'll learn with more people on the ice.
Yeah. So if anyone else other than those 2 are running it, drop in the comments if someone was that we didn't know how to perform. Just kind of doing a little R&D on it ourselves.
Yeah, we like to hear. We want to see.
Yeah, something for us to talk about. Chris said combined weekend views 44,000 for the live stream.
Yeah, like I said, it was 27,000. I just checked a little bit ago on the one day, and 14, 15 on the other. Whatever it came out to.
That's real good. Moving forward, you're a couple weeks away from Ironwood. Okay, Bob Bennett, one of the Travis's crew guys. Track had issues. They didn't like it. They pulled it out. Makes sense.
There you go. You never know. It could have felt like it had a vibration or something goofy, and didn't make the driver feel comfortable.
I know the old style tracks, I'm trying to remember the manufacturer. So if someone knows that, drop that in the comments too. We would run it on a track machine.
Yeah,
To break it in.
These guys have been in the
And
game so long.
I know these. I know
they're all probably running.
A lot of the
on
people
that.
have track machines or a jig or something where they can spin it for a couple days,
stretch them.
Or I think what we did was you'd have to go turn 30 laps on the test track at rolling speed, come back in, tighten it, and then do 30 more laps at quarter throttle. It was a process to break them in, so that could very well be that there's a break-in process.
I've done her both ways. Throw them on, run the shit out of it, and stretch it real quick, and tighten her up after 3 laps.
Yeah,
they
stretch.
They stretch with time. They balloon a little. It's always interesting when you look at a picture. You can see the big belly of a track ballooning from the rails.
Yeah, Yeah, it's always preference. Rolling preference. So there's that. But looking forward to Ironwood. PVR's heading up there in about 10 days, I think. Let me look at my calendar here. Yeah, about 10 days. I think they're heading up Friday the 27th. I think there is some hot laps that Friday, weather pending, and then they have a 2-day show up there. So I don't know, pretty good amount of drivers, I think, heading up there out of the F500 camp. What are you thinking for entries, Brandon?
Sorry, I was reading the comments from Jeff here.
Yeah.
Blew the side out. That's not good. So running wide on the wheels. Interesting on
the tracks. But Ironwood, F500 entries, we saw probably 20 some entries at Beaujeu. Now you got the start of the Decker Triple Crown with the added payout. I'm thinking we're going to hit 30 entries, don't you think?
Yeah, in the States here, I bet we'll be in that 20 marker. Ooh, 30. That's really pushing a big number. How many guys are we going to get from the Pond Series to jump over and commit is the big question,
Yeah, I think there's a few like hidden away that might come out. You never know.
Yeah, I think you get 5 extras in the hidden away feature. I think guys that are building them. I see the Max just commented, I prefer a tight track. Well, I believe he'll probably find a sled on the racetrack. Yeah, at least one of the boys will. I heard some stuff in the grapevines. Let's just see what it has to pay. I don't know or it plays out. We'll see once the race day information comes out as we get closer. I believe is what they use for registration. That'll give us that answer. A lot of guys are betting 25 to 30. Yeah. Okay. Let's let it play out. We can only go off the numbers we have, and a lot of those guys are Canadians that I'm looking at. That
I know Beaujeu has a strong.
They have their own strong
Quinn Wojak, Jared Sackvey, Brad Harrison, all guys that are local to Beaujeu. But I think a lot of them will probably make the trip, whether it's 2 weekends in a row at Ironwood, and then potentially 2 weekends at Eagle River, 2 weekends at Wausau.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Entry list here.
It looks like we have 1, 2, 3. There's 5 guys alone that are from Beaujeu area or Manitoba. So I don't know if those guys will make the drive. I don't know if they usually do make that drive down from Beaujeu, Winnipeg, is what I'm seeing. We know the guys from Wisconsin are going to make it. That's a no-brainer. But there's just a few of them. Some of them's pretty far. We got some Minnesota, Strathcona, Lake Kendra. I bet you she'll be there.
I was hoping, I don't know if Steve Perrick's watching tonight or not. I know PVR does board meetings on Tuesdays. I was hoping he'd let us know if they have a test day on Friday. And I believe Saturday is the Triple Crown race. So we might head up there for Ironwood for the weekend or for a day at least. Check it out.
We'll find ourselves in trouble in that city.
Not if it's just for a day. But
we won't stop and take a peek.
I won't.
Oh, well,
yeah, man.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I'd be interested to see the
Let me down
numbers
like that.
Interested to see the numbers. It's lack of test time for the, I guess, central Wisconsin residents.
I don't think there's a lack. I think we got ice around us.
Yeah, there is ice.
I
Whether
found
it's
ice.
is it
and,
quality ice? Especially
yeah,
after
it's great ice. Some of the best ice actually after this little moisture we had. If you had your track plowed, it is great ice. That fresh top ice, that water layer, it freezes up nice.
Chris Peckett, no PVR board meeting. I know, right?
If you prepped your track and you had that little heat up in this central Wisconsin area, you're gonna have beautiful ice when we get an ice.
Just smooth itself out, level it out a little.
Oh
bit.
yeah, if you beat the crap out of it, it's gonna be a nice, perfect track when you come home.
Okay,
we get some cold weather here.
Yeah, I'm interested to see in the supermod entries too. Your vintage Ironwood is 2 weeks prior to the vintage WC.
That's your time to test.
Big time. That should be big numbers for the supermod guys. I think I saw the Tresniaks are bringing 3 or 4 sleds out of their camp. Pekka's might have one.
I'd like to see the IFS stuff.
I know that's one of my favorite classes, and it doesn't have the numbers like it used to.
It's tough, Is it hard to find motors? I don't know what the issue for the IFS is, but if anybody's got one laying in a garage and looking for a driver, let me know.
Yeah, someone's looking to turn some test laps. What'd you say the other day? You're like, I turned 8 laps on that enticer, and you're like, God, shoulders are starting to get a little tired.
I don't know about that, but it was not it's a very narrow sled, and it was ridden well beyond where it should have been ridden.
So
I'm not one to take something out and take it easy trail riding.
That's true.
Oh, we got the Maritime Snowmobile Championship race tuning in. Thanks, guys. That's the Woodstock group. They're part of the
Triple Crown,
the VWR.
Yeah, VWR. That'll be 3 races from Valcourt to Woodstock to Roperville.
You got her.
Perfect. So
Roperville's a new one. We haven't had much talk about the last few years.
That kind of went away for a little bit. Like you said, Matt Schultz used to talk about
the champs kind of pulled out of it for a little bit. So now it's making a charge back, and the community's jumping on that.
Yeah, perfect. We got anything else for today? I mean, it was just a short recap.
It's just a recap.
Going into Christmas, probably won't do an episode for another week or 2.
I think we covered all of our things. Anybody in the comments got questions or chat talking points that you guys want to see? Where we're going forward.
Yeah, let's see a show of hands. Who is racing at Ironwood? If you're racing at Ironwood, give us a thumbs up and the class that you're racing in, so we can get a preliminary report of numbers.
Yeah,
we a few seconds for that.
For sure.
That'd be great to see. Like I said, PVR. Unfortunately, no live stream. I don't believe so. We'll if we make the trip up there, I'm sure we'll bring a camera with, and
yeah, we could always
do a little bit of work and talk to. I want to talk to some of the Triple Crown guys.
Yeah, the Triple Crown guys for
Eagle
sure.
Rivers, Wisconsin's Rich Mork, F500. I'm assuming. I mean, I don't want to rattle off names, but I'm assuming Colton Walney, Colton Abraham, everyone that was on an F5 from Central Wisconsin in Canada is going to be up in.
We got a list right here, Norm. You can take a peek at.
Oh boy, there's a lot of columns here.
We're peeking at the track cam here for Eagle.
Yeah, Eagle River has ice down too. I know people were a little worried about the warm weather, but they at least have ice to lose this year. They looked pretty healthy when I tuned in last week. Warmed up a little bit here, but
it says waiting for Eagle River World Champion Derby Complex. October 24th was the last time they had a.
Yeah. Someone had a video of the water truck going around,
but the cam is not live. Come on, boys.
Turn the cam on. So, yeah, I could see. Let's see. We'd have Jared. Maybe Jared Saxby would come down. Zach Rogers, I can expect at Ironwood. Jaslyn Rathke, Hannah Westland, Kendra, Colton Abraham, Rich Mork, Dane Klinger, Nick Kurth, Marcus Catlin, Zach Onson. Probably Kale Bilal.
Ice production in Wassa has not started, Jeff.
No, they typically start around New Year's, I believe.
We were shooting. I heard some stuff to shoot for it this week, but the weather just didn't turn out.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, you're gonna have a couple days here of good ice making conditions, but then it's gonna warm up here, at least in Wassa. But that crew works very hard. Every track crew works very hard, but they got 2 water trucks and Mark Heinrich and Sprinkler Pete and their crew. They got it figured out. Where I know Mark can run 2 trucks by himself. He'll park one, have it set the timer to have it fill up while he's dumping the other one out, and then rotate them. And it usually takes off of work just to run the water truck for about 20 hours a day.
Yeah, they can lay some good ice there. Good crew.
Yeah. So we just needed to cool down here for about a good solid 2 weeks coming up here. So it'll be interesting. I'll be interested to see how Ironwood holds up, if it's similar to how Eagle River happens. You got the vintage guys going before modern day weekend.
Yeah, with this weather here, we're having this little blip of temps coming through, which is kind of short sticking us, I will say.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Paul Sockwell and the Ice Oval Unlimited crew working hard for Dorchester. That's the weekend of Saturday, January 25th.
Yeah, the 25th, Dorchester's got the official
Wisconsin State Championships.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't even have to read that off a sheet either. That was right off the old noggin.
Yeah. Paul's a great guy. They guys put on a good show, and
a lot of bonus money for those guys too.
Yeah, it looks like he's ready to start laying some ice once the cool down comes through. And
yeah, Jim Smith was asking what your race schedule is like, BG.
My race schedule is interesting. It's looking like I'm gonna have the Ironwood stuff off at this time, and then I go into vintage weekend at Eagle, modern weekend at Eagle, and then I have to figure out. We'll see what the weather does
out east
in Boonville. If Boonville has a hiccup, I look forward to being at the Spring World Cup. That's the 25th, and then I'd go Eganville, Valcourt, and Woodstock, and that would call my schedule right there.
Yeah, and maybe end it with the Manoa Snowdio, doing a little camera work.
Well, that's maybe. That's the same weekend.
Weekend as Woodstock.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I'll be at Manoa.
You'll be at Manoa. Yeah. So there is the rundown, Jim, for me and the F3 and the Super Mod 440.
Yeah, you'll be busy for 2 months or so.
Yes, it's gonna be busy.
You're gonna be flying back and forth, or are you staying out there for a couple weeks at a time?
Once I'm out for Eganville, I think I'll stay out for 3 weeks straight, and work on the sleds and do as much as I can for the team, because I can in the early part of the season.
Yeah, you guys got a new trailer coming too.
Yeah, we got some stuff in the works there, and the guys are working really hard on that, and set us back. We would have loved to be at Ironwood, but it seems like we're just a few setbacks, and you get behind, and that's part of this racing game.
Jeremy Burgoy. Right after Christmas, they're going to start making ice in Boonville, so that's a good sign. Good stuff. As long as it cools down. Think cold here. We got that. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's kind of similar to last winter where it got cold. We got some snow and then it warmed back up.
It's nice to clean the driveway.
I know it's
not good on the racing side.
Don't have to warm the car up as long, but
I was worried about saving gas over here.
Yeah,
parks in the garage too.
I know. Well, just one vehicle, but I think that's all we got for today. So yeah, that was a little CPTC recap. Looking forward to Ironwood PVR, and hopefully see people.
We'll be back to bringing guests back.
Yeah. Yep.
For sure. We're gonna have some guests coming up, and if you want to be a guest on the show and you're a driver of any class, reach out, shoot us a message at Brandon Grzinski or at Brandon Normand, saying, hey, we want to
come on the show, talk about it. I know I talked to a few guys locally about maybe doing a shop tour, kind of, for people that don't know what goes into breaking down a sled after, prepping it for the next week, that kind of stuff that we might do for some content. So
yeah, that'd be fun, interesting view inside of a shop. Don't want to give all their secrets away,
no,
but
can't do that.
there's some viewers here that are not hardcore racers, and then we have some that are full on in the race programs.
Yeah. So hope everyone enjoys the Christmas holiday, and we'll try to do a show after. Well,
It kind of
Tuesday
ends,
after Christmas falls on New Year's Eve. And
Yeah.
I have a feeling we'll be doing other extracurricular activities.
Well, I don't really drink.
Oh yeah,
so,
you're in race season.
I'm in race season and training. I can't be doing the other extra.
I'll have to have two for you then. But yeah, we will do a show probably post Ironwood PVR race. Might not happen right away. Might be post Ironwood for both USSA and PVR.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll try to put some stuff out.
We might be able to pull off after Ironwood.
Yeah, it'll be close. We could do a Monday show again.
Yeah, we could change up the date. And hey, Jim Smith, shoot me a message on the Price Lake out in Cooling, Idaho, of what you guys are thinking for your dates. I see you got January 25th along with the second or third race. If you guys are having one, that'd be awesome. We'd like to put that on our calendar as well for you guys.
Yeah, that's the All West, the Idaho group. So I hope everyone enjoys the Christmas holiday and New Year's. If we don't see you before then, we'll try to see you at the track.